Back to the Future. I'm going to be talking about the 1990s in this short clip. You know, I grew up in 1989, so my first experience of life in this round anyway was the 1990s. And I tell you, it was a good time for me personally. I really enjoyed the 1990s. You know, the whole vibrancy of it, the air, this sort of expectancy as over the 2000s coming up. It was quite a cool time. And like I said, everything was new to me at that time. So I was thinking to myself, when am I going to get a similar air or essence to the 1990s again in this lifetime? So obviously, me being me, I calculated it. And that would be the 2080s. So by the time a similar vibration to the 1990s comes back into our world, we will, or I will anyway, be well into my 80s or even 90s, sorry, because I was born in 1989. And that just got me thinking, you know, you have your personal numbers in terms of numerology and personal influences, but then you being a part of the world are connected to the world. And of course, therefore, what the world is going through as a whole matters very much to you, right? So as I said, the 1990s, 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 0 give you 1. That was a 1 vibration. The 2000s, 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 equals 2. That was a 2 vibration. And then the 2010s, which we're in right now, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 0 equals 3. So since 2010, the general theme of the decade up until 2020, of course, is 3, which is all about playfulness. The 1990s, of course, was the beginning, start of something new eras, of course, that being a 1. And then we moved into the number 2 in the 2000s. And of course, that number's all about, you know, collaboration, partnership. And of course, you can say the internet was a big marker of that, you know, the burst and expansion of the internet. Obviously, with the 1 ending and the 2 beginning in the late 90s, that's when the internet was really becoming, you know, something that we see today. They didn't understand the internet 10 years before that, and they didn't understand how they could implement it in our lives. And look at it now, it's like second nature. Even mobile phones, if you remember, again, talking about, you know, relationship, collaboration, partnership. The mobile phone has been a very big help. I was speaking to some folks the other day and was just reminiscing the times when we went out and we had no mobile phones. We literally just had landlines, and now everybody is reachable. So it's crazy to look back at the decades, actually. Now that I'm coming up to 30, I actually have a memory bank and I can look back and see what influences were there in previous decades that I've lived through in this round. And I will tell you, if you consciously think about periods of time, not as in years, although you'll see different themes in years, but if you look at decades, that's when you really see, you know, this whole idea of vibrations and essences and frequencies working. You will really see the differences. I mean, for me, thinking about the 1990s, it's like the air was different. This is when you really start to question reality, isn't it? Because literally in the 1990s, things were different, if you get what I mean. And then in the 2000s also, things were different. And then in the 2010s, things are different. And I'm sure we'll be saying the same in the 2020s, which is going to be a 4. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0, 4. And I'm not quite looking forward to that, if I'm honest with you. But God willing, I'll be built up by the 2020s arrival, and I'll be able to navigate through it just as well as I've done this one. Reason I say that is because 4 is the number of hard graft, delays, obstacles, all those sort of things. That is a really, you know, soul and essence builder, the number 4. So that's what we're going to be facing in the next decade. So you will start to feel the influences more of the 4 as we approach 2020. We're in 2016 now, going into 2017. I can assure you, you would have already been feeling, whether you're conscious of it or not, the effects of the 4 as the 3 dies down. So that's it, really. If you enjoyed the 1990s, then you'll have to wait another 90 years from then to enjoy it again. So 70 years from now, you'll be experiencing, the essences. Remember one thing, when you're looking at life, right? When you look at the cycle of things, it is a broken record. Not broken as in there's anything wrong, but it is a broken record. It literally goes over the same thing again and again. It goes round in circles. But what a lot of people miss out is that it's not the same words that are being sung. It's not the same words. It's the same essence. The words can be different. The essence could be the same. So this is what I'm talking about. So if you did, for example, think, oh yeah, the 1990s, oh yeah, I love that time, it was a great time, I can't wait for that again, then you will face it again 90 years from that time. So for example, now we're in the energy of the 3 in terms of the decade we're in, the 2010s. If I really could not wait for this period again in terms of its essence, because surely the form and manifestations would be different next time, I would have to wait 90 years. So that would take me to the 3000s, the year 3000 to 3009, which sounds very, very far away, but in terms of the universe and time itself, that's nothing, isn't it? Because we are timeless. Peace.